Hello, and thank you for tuning in to Soapbox Moments. I'm your host, Renee Johnson, and we're going to talk about for better or for worse today. We're going to be just kind of focusing on married couples and go on the long haul. So, this is just a really quick soapbox. Feel free to post, comment, inbox me, like, share. I would really appreciate that. But just a quickie, I wanted to go to a video version of the soapbox because sometimes there's so much in the message that it's a bit complicated to type or to get you to have the full understanding, because most people, when they see a post on Facebook, they're ready to just scroll right through it, read a couple of lines and keep it moving. But I figured if we just talked about it a little bit, it might give you some better insight. So today I wanted to talk about, as I stated before, for better or for worse, and just a couple of quick lines, and won't be long. But there's going to come a time in every married couple's life where you face that moment of for better or for worse. So I'm going to share a couple of these notes that I have with you. So when it comes down to being married, we all will have those complicated moments, and that's okay. That's to be expected. So there's going to be a time when the partnership seems like it's non-existent. This is not a partnership. I don't know what I got myself into. Oh Lord, I want to get out. But remember, one of the things that you said was for better or for worse, which is really important. There's going to be a time when one of you will have to solely rely on the other, whether it's physically, emotionally, mentally, financially, and yes, a lot of times it's spiritually, because where one is weak, you lean to the other for strength, and that's part of marriage. But just remember, it's always for better or for worse. There's going to be a time after the honeymoon is over and the fairy tale begins to fade away. You're going to see it seem like it's disintegrating right before your very eyes. But remember, it's for better or for worse. There's going to be a time when you'll have to choose to hold on to a grudge or to change. And change can be a hard thing to do, but it's necessary. It's necessary. Change is good. You'll remember that song, Change is Good. But again, remember, in your marriage, it's for better or for worse. We're holding on to this in the good times and the bad times. It doesn't matter how rough it gets. And marriage is work. Don't think that you're walking into marriage and it'll be, gold and roses and, dinner out every night. No, it's going to be some work. You're going to have to put your time in. But what I want you to understand is you're even going to have a time where you try to convince yourself after you have a situation or an argument or a disagreement or whatever you want to call it, that you have every right to feel the way you feel. And that might be right. But guess what? You have to decide whether or not to honor God in your marriage or not. And we're talking about marriage for better or for worse, and we're coming from a biblical principle. You can't go to bed angry, or you shouldn't. People do, but it makes the days even harder. So just a note of encouragement, just hold on. Take the opportunity to decide whether or not you're going to change. Are you going to hold on to that grudge, or are you going to let it go? There's no in between when it comes to for better or for worse. The only thing between for better or for worse is the word or. And that just pulls the two words together. Amen. So today I want you to go to the Lord in your prayer time and ask Him. I realize it's time for change, but change me. Because as I tell people all the time, you cannot control anything outside of you. So change will always begin with you. So I appreciate you for tuning in today. Make today intentional, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for joining in.